Welcome back to Chrono Trigger. We're here at the end of the factory. I would have put this in the last video, but it was going to be too long.
Especially considering what's coming up after this.
Oh yeah. On the bright side, this is pretty much where the boring part of the story is finishing up. We'll finally start having a lot more interesting things to talk about. I mean, not that being in the future is kind of not interesting, but this is when the story starts to really pick up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have this password we have to do, which is Zabi.
Which I'm still sticking by. It still makes more sense because you can't really convert Zabi to triangles, circles, squares, and square.
Well, see, even in the Super Nintendo version, it's kind of misleading because it's spelled Z-A-B-I-E.
Well, but it sounds out like Zabi, which is like X-A-B-Y, and you can kind of make the correlation.
Yeah. No, the thing that's confusing is you have to realize that X makes a Z sound.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you press X-A-B-Y or triangle, circle, X square here, and it opens this door. And now we got, oh shit, alarms going off.
I'd be cracking up where it was like, ah, you guys fucked it up.
God damn it!
You had one job.
It's kind of reminding me of that part in Metroid Fusion, like, emergency in Sector 3. I get it, there's an emergency in Sector 3, shut the fuck up! That goes on and on for like frickin' 15 minutes.
Well, it's a good thing he's in robot and not made of flesh. Otherwise, I think he'd have been dead by now.
I don't know, he probably could have at least, like, cracked. We don't know how old he is as a robot.
Well, he's certainly much stronger than than the average human.
Well, I mean, based on the animated cutscene that we had when we were activating him, he was deactivated for a very long time.
I just imagine, like, the way Chrono and Maro were just standing there, it's like, you know, we probably should get out of here. Yeah, we should.
Yeah, this was me getting a little bit confused, because I'm like, wait, which way do I go again? Oh, right, if I go up this ladder, there's nowhere else to go.
I know, they're just standing there, he's like, yeah, we should probably get out of here. Yeah, we should. And they just stand there for 10 more seconds. Oh, right, getting out of here.
I'm like, wait, no, we can't go. And I'm like, wait, no, I can't go that way because there's an elevator. That only goes up and down. There we go. They're like, oh, right, I have to go all the way around. It's been a while since I did this part.
Thankfully, no other encounters on the way here, except for these guys.
No, it's just you gotta deal with hearing the danger music and the alarm going off for longer than you probably should.
Robots can have friends? Heh.
How long have these guys been unactivated?
R69Y.
Shut up.
I can imagine that's his reaction to it. It's like, shut the fuck up, and just punches him.
Wait, so if you're gonna go through the trouble of numbering each robot individually, why do you have the letter Y in their serial number?
Yeah, maybe it's just like it's probably something extra in terms of robot terminology.
Robo, you're really quick to just assume these things.
He's like, oh shit, I was supposed to kill these guys? Robots can have shame?
Remember, Toriyama designed the characters, so robots have emotions. Look at all those color swaps of Robo there.
Yep.
This part's a little confusing because you can actually keep walking around while this is happening, but you can't really do anything until the game decides to end the cutscene.
And imagine if you just tried not doing anything. You could make Chrono out to be the biggest dick. He's just like, well, alright.
Well, I mean, you really can't...
I know you can't do anything. Like, if you try to help them, Robo's like, no, stop, they're my friends, and then all that good stuff. But at least the sentiment is there. But if you just chose not to do anything from the get-go, it just makes it seem like...
Oh, this is one of my favorite scenes. Mainly because of, well, you'll see in about 10 seconds. I love the expressions that they put on these sprites.
You cocky boxes of bolts.
I mean, you do, like... if you have Luca there, you can't really see her be angry because her anger expression is just her holding up her gun in front of her face.
He's like, yeah.
Like, you very rarely get a chance to see Marl actually look legitimately angry like that. I think it looks really nice.
He's like,
Anyway, we got the R series. All 6 of these robots are really frickin' obnoxious.
I would assume so, considering it's 6 against 2.
And they really want to gang up on Chrono. I mean, I think they only have like 200 HP, so you can take them out pretty fast. But this is why I chose to bring Marl instead of Luca, because while having Luca is nice and you can use like Fire Whirl to do extra damage, I'd rather be safe and have healing.
I'm surprised you're not choosing the one in the very middle. Just take out 3 at once.
Yeah, I think I was trying to, but for some reason my controller wasn't doing it right.
Eh. Oh yeah, human volleyball.
God damn it. See, that's the worst thing that they do.
It's like, get over
and
here.
Of course he's gonna do it, like, well, I thought he was gonna do it again.
I know, that's kind of looked like it was gonna do it.
If you can dodge a punch, you can dodge a ball. Wait a minute.
If you could dodge traffic, you could dodge a ball.
God damn it. The other nice thing, too, is since Chrono counterattacks a lot, if you're lucky, he'll counterattack every time they attack you, so...
Yeah, consider it's like a 50% chance, I think, with the accessory you have on.
Yeah. But this is the other reason, Aura Whirl. It's a much better healing spell. And if you have Luca, then you have to worry about running out of healing items, and bah, I'd rather just have a healer.
I like how they have the option to just run up to you and then punch you. Or if they want, just like fuck it and then rocket punch you.
Yeah. There. Now I'm able to actually do it. But see, then I have to sit there and like the wind up because all 3 of them got their turn before my attack went off. And like, that is really obnoxious.
That's more like it.
God damn it. And then,
Oh.
if you don't finish it off, then it explodes. Thankfully, it doesn't do that much damage.
And for some reason I thought it was going to destroy itself like that. It's like, oh.
No, that's just when it's down to one robot, then it uses that explosion attack because it's really close to dead.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a lot of experience.
Well, yeah.
So
that's the other downside too. Like, the beginning of this game, for some reason, really likes to keep it just 2 characters, and it's really kind of annoying. Because both Robo and whoever you leave behind is going to be really behind on levels at this point.
yeah.
And well, the levels aren't the problem. They're going to be behind on techs if you haven't maxed out their techs yet.
I think it's going to get kind of fixed with what's coming up after this. Sort of.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, you really should only be able to have 3 techs, and all of your characters should have them learned by now. But if you're trying to do a low-level run, then you're kind of screwed out of one character gaining techs at this point.
Yeah. And there goes Toby.
It's nice of them to just have a cutscene of you dragging Robo to the other laboratory.
Yeah.
And yet another plot hole that they just handwave of, like, yeah, Luca just knows how to fix things.
I don't know. You could always just make that assumption. I've been wanting to bring this up. Ever since, like, 1000 AD, she built Gato.
That is very true. I keep forgetting that. Like, how does she have the technology to make a robot in 1080? With this point, I will give it credit. Like, she repaired him once before, so she would know how to fix him again.
Yeah, and
it's like, what's funny is, what I'd like to think of this is like after you, like if you choose to leave Luca behind, you come back to 20 minutes like I fixed him 20 minutes ago and he's already broken. What the crap?
it's like, yeah, thank his friends for that.
Like, I just fixed him like 20 minutes ago.
And of course, more Rick Astley.
Yes. Did you have memory loss? No, you still remember things. Thank God.
Yeah, pretty.
Yes.
You're going to do it plenty more times. Trust me.
Yes, I will. I hope I never have to pull an all-nighter to fix something ever again. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
And in like the rare instance that we have like 4 people with us at once.
Oh yeah, this is just to advance the plot.
Of course.
Hold on to your shorts.
I like how Robo's joining in with the posing and everything. He was like, I've just barely joined you guys a few minutes ago. I don't know what a time portal is, but hey, I'm gonna pose with you.
This is another really interesting plot point here, which, like, we've never actually gone through this before with 4 people. What the hell?
Yep.
Well, crap. See, look, we can very clearly have more than 3 people on our team at once. But the game won't allow us to do that, which is really kind of annoying.
Well, it's mainly set up as a plot point for this, because I think this guy right here is going to mention...
I know, I was just kidding. So I'm like, the games that came out before, like, Final Fantasy IV let us have 5 characters on our team at once. Come on, Square, what the shit? That's bullshit. That's fine, it worked. End of time, eh? So, how did this one small piece of land happen to be around here? Because everything else seems to be a void of emptiness.
Well, it is the end of time. It's probably just kind of like, I don't know.
You know, here's my question: if we're at this point in history where time no longer exists, does that mean as long as we stay here, we're immortal because we'll never age?
I guess.
I mean, it is called the end of time. If time isn't moving, then we're technically not aging.
So yeah, he mentions when you have more than 3 people going in through a portal at once, it's like, okay, throw them here.
Yeah, this is the point of the game where they actually finally get into the time travel aspect.
Yeah.
Talking about the space-time continuum. You'd think that would be a huge plot point, but it is, and it's weird. It is and it isn't at the same time, because they don't really bring it up very often. There's 2 key points in this game where the space-time continuum is brought up. There's this point, and then there's another really, really important point way later on in the game. We'll get to that.
And they let Chrono decide, it's like, alright, which one of them is going to remain forever
behind.
alone?
Yeah, this is basically the game's excuse to... This is basically just the game's excuse to allow you to switch party members. Because you can only have 3 at a time.
Toby.
So as for right now, I'm going to leave Robo out. Sorry, Robo, I know we just got you and all, and you didn't really do very much. Like, you showed up, helped us through the factory, and got beat up by 6 robots, but...
Either way, with what's coming up next, we definitely need, like, the 3 human party members. Yeah.
Just trying to keep it in suspense. I gotta stop trying to make things suspenseful. This is a 25-year-old game.
And at this point, I'm like, I'll bring it up as it goes along.
Fuck it.
But at the same time, I'm not going to bring up, like, the entirety of the plot.
Right. I will warn you something. This guy's gonna warn you about it too. There's 2 buckets here. There's this bucket that heals your HP and MP to full. Then there's that bucket in the top right. For the love of God, unless you're playing a New Game Plus, stay the fuck away from that bucket.
And I think,
please.
I think he mentions it.
Stay away from it.
Doesn't he mention exactly what it does?
Yeah. I think so. That's why I'm over here. I'm like, hey, you kind of don't want to touch that.
He's like, hey.
Actually, that's...
Oh, right.
That doesn't happen until the second time you try to examine it.
No, yeah, he doesn't bring it up until after you do this.
Yes. And then like, oh, this is the reason why I was disappointed that I couldn't get here sooner.
What are you looking at?
This is Specchio, the master of war.
And magic.
How do I look? You look like a piece of shit.
If you're strong, I look strong. If you're weak, I look weak. So if I look weak, guess what that means for you.
Anyway, this is technically Specchio's second form that he can take.
Yeah, the first form is of, like, what was it again? I can't remember.
It was a frog.
Oh yeah, a frog. Like a little magical frog, but he could still whoop your ass.
Oh, actually, that's probably the second hardest form of him that you can fight. Now the thing is, the reason why he has this form is because every 10 levels you gain, he'll change forms. So if you want to see his first form, you have to get to this point of the game below level 10, which is extremely hard to do because you basically have to run away from every battle that's not a boss battle up till this point.
I like how he calls Chrono's hair a punk hairdo. So there's only 4 elements in this game: fire, water, lightning, and shadow.
Lightning and shadow.
Though in the DS version, lightning is just it's directly called light, because I think they're trying to...
Yeah, it was mistranslated to lightning mostly because Wolsey's like, hey, Chrono's magic is lightning, so his element is lightning. Technically that's true, but it's
Or I think
more accurate to call it light, and it makes more sense when he gets his ultimate tech. What you have to do here is walk around the room 3 times clockwise.
Yeah.
He is watching you.
Yep.
So you can't fuck it up. If you run, that doesn't count. You do have to walk.
Also, I think in like the Japanese version, his elemental is technically something kind of like light. Oh, it's not like light exactly, but it's more like holy power.
Well, it's light based.
Yeah. Toby.
Toby's just wanting to know what the heck magic is.
Then Lucas says, "Oh God, I'm on fire." Okay, now I knew it.
I'm on fire. Okay, and then when you learn magic, you can actually fight Specchio. You can only damage him with magic, and he's actually really hard.
Considering he uses nothing but magic on you guys, so
Boom.
his magic is off the fucking charts.
At this point in the game, it is possible to beat him, but I would recommend waiting until you're level 9. At this point, since he's got his level 10 form, I would recommend waiting till you're about level 15 or 16 to fight him. I'm just being stupid and fighting him now just to show him off.
That goes for like all of his forms in general, though. Like depending on like what tens you're in, you want to at least be in the upper portions of it. So since he is in the ones...
Yeah, that's why I said if you want to see his first form, get here below level 10. So you want to be at least level 9, which is really hard to do, like I said, because you have to dodge everything, and Luca's dead.
Yep. Oh God, bring her back.
But this is how every Specchio fight is going to be. You basically have to play completely on the defensive, especially in his later forms. Oh God, especially in his later forms.
Yeah, right now he's only using like the basic magic attacks, like the ones we can use right now.
And it's not even that. It's the fact that your magic defense at this point is complete crap.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be... So while I'm hitting him for like 120, he's hitting me for like 150.
Oh God, water, my one weakness.
Chrono just happens to have slightly higher magic defense at this point, which, luckily for me, hopefully that means he uses water more often on Chrono so that I don't die. If he uses water on Luca, I'm boned.
Not to mention, like...
There goes Luke, there goes Marl
in
again.
his later forms, he'll be able to access magic that hits all the party members, so, But at that point, also, your party members should have at least, like, 500 or more HP, I think.
Also, yeah. Also, don't worry if anyone's dead by the end of the battle. You don't gain experience or tech points.
Yeah.
If you beat him, though, you do get special... You do get stuff for beating him. For beating his second form, we get the special refresher set, which gives you 1 magic tab and 5 ethers.
Hooray!
If you beat his frog form, I think all you get is 1 magic tab. So every form you get you get the item you get from the first time you beat him, plus a new item. So you can only get them 1 time though. Once you earn the prize for beating him the first time, you won't get anything else again until he gets to his next form.
Pretty much, and you don't have to keep fighting him, but yeah, it is pretty much bragging rights to say that you fought all his forms.
It's nice to do because you get a lot of tabs for fighting him, and if you're not going to go out of your way to look for them, it's really easy to stock up on tabs, because I think once you get to his final form, you can get the prize every time you beat him.
Yep.
But his final form is going to be using the max level magic on that everyone has at that point, so he's going to be one-shotting you if you're not prepared. And then if you come in here with Robo, unfortunately, Robo cannot learn magic.
Well, his lasers are technically shadow magic, though.
Yeah, his lasers have shadow magic elements, but he's technically dark magic, but he doesn't get any magic spells.
Yeah. And even so, like, wait, what was I going to mention? It's because, like, he's not really, like, naturally made.
Yeah.
That's the
so
reason
Robo's
why he can't
so if
do
you
it.
want to do a challenge run, technically the only person that can learn all their techs right away is Robo, because you can't... Because until you talk to Specchio, you can't learn your second tier spells, which is all the magic spells that you just learned here.
Yep.
So now that you can learn Fire, Lightning, and Water, you can start learning Fire 2, Lightning 2, and Water 2, and so on and so forth.
Yep. And he wants to talk to us, I think.
Yeah. I should mention, though, that you do have to bring people that, like, we had Frog on our team a while ago. When we get Frog back, he's still not going to have magic unless you bring him to Specchio.
Yeah, and even so, I think if I remember, he's the only character you actually do have to take him back for. Because there is another character, but they're, like, utterly incapable of using magic because of their time period.
Yeah. And then there's another character that you want to bring them back here, because, oh man.
Well, technically that other character is optional, and they have magic from the get-go.
I know, but due to gameplay, you still have to have Specchio teach him magic.
I don't think so. When I remember correctly, like, he always had, like, all the magic types.
That's true. Anyway, now that we can learn the next tier spells, I would recommend having Marl and Luca in your party and just keeping Robo benched for a little bit.
Yeah, he doesn't have to learn his, like, next level spells quite yet. Or rather,
Yeah, and you want to learn Fire 2 and Ice 2 as soon as possible
especially, and Lightning 2. Well, then again, that's a given.
Well, you're not going to learn Lightning 2 for a while, but Marl and Luca are going to start learning their higher level magic spells, like more healing spells, better attack spells and stuff.
Yeah, and I was also going to correct myself.
Chrono's just going to learn it naturally because you can't.
You can't get him out of the
party.
party.
As you can see, Chrono's the only character that you're forced to keep on your team at all times.
But yeah, I don't think you ever get to check. I don't think you go back to check it out with him. But if you go check that bucket again, he mentions that one bucket you absolutely don't want to go into. Well, it leads to 19.
Oh yeah, I should mention that since we already brought it up. Yeah, that bucket that I showed you. That can warp you to Lavos, which is the final boss in the game. And it's there for a reason, because there is points where... I'll just say it because I'm going to end up beating this game anyway, since we're doing post-commentary. When you beat this game, you have an option known as New Game Plus, where you start the game over again with all the items and weapons and levels you had after you beat the game.
Yep.
So, if you're at level, like, 75, and you keep, like, all your max level armor and weapons and stuff, then once you get here the first time, you can jump into that bucket and go fight Lavos.
Yep.
And that gets you an alternate ending. There's also an alternate ending where you can go and fight Lavos at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, it's like only... I think that's one of the few, and it's like the only ending that's limited to New Game Plus, because all the other ones, you could technically do them right now, but you're going to get your ass handed to
if I really
them.
wanted to, I could go fight Lavos right now. I would die, but I could try it.
Yeah, but then there's this one ending in New Game Plus that's only accessible in New Game Plus, because, like, some certain properties that only show up when you do so.
Yeah, and that is the hardest way to fight Lavos, because you can only fight him with Chrono and Marl on your team.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do that battle, be sure you beat the entire game, get all the good stuff, and hope Chrono and Marl are at least like level 70.
And you better have done all the side quests near the end, too, because that stuff is very fucking helpful.
Yeah. The reason why I came back here is there is a power tab you can get here. You can only get it after you've come back here after going through it the first time. It's weird. You have to leave the room and then come back, and then like walk on every tile in that room, and then it makes the power tab appear.
Why the hell not?
I don't know where every tab is in this game. I'm not H.C. Bailey. I mean, I could use him as a reference and find all of that, but
It's not like you need the tabs in order to get through the game a lot easier.
No, you don't need any of the special stat boosting items at all in this game. In fact, you don't even need to grind. By the time you get to Lavos at the end of the game, you should be strong enough to beat him.
Yep. But yeah, that's one thing about this game that's great, that you could challenge Lavos as early as possible. And like you said, you'll get your ass handed to you, but you could. It's an option, and I like that.
Yeah, and I will mention... Oh, this is great. We go back to Medina in 1000 AD. Suddenly, there's apparently a time vortex inside this guy's closet.
Yeah.
Who are you, and what are you doing coming out of my closet?
Coming out of our closet. What the hell?
Well, there's also another what the hell moment. We're back here in Medina. Why are there monsters in this building? There weren't monsters here the last time we were here.
It was founded by the ancestors of the Mystics, and they hold grudges against humans. Pretty much that war in 600, where like everyone was fighting, like, I don't know, can't remember the.
Well, see, this is the one thing that I kind of don't understand. Like, this would make sense if the whole thing in 600 AD never happened. But we did that.
I guess.
I think what this is I think this is where the whole timeline starts splitting up, because all this happens because Chrono went back in time to save Marl back at the beginning of the game.
Something like that.
Yeah, because as Luca mentioned before, all that stuff that we did, somebody else was supposed to do it. And so because Chrono did it, now history itself is like getting completely fucked over.
Well, not fucked over, just changing here and there. Thankfully.
Yeah. So like now we got these monsters worshiping this Magus, who apparently 400 years ago summoned Lavos. Well, shit. Now we know who to go kill to make sure Lavos doesn't destroy the world.
Yep.
That's weird, though. If we were in 600 AD a few parts ago, and nobody mentioned a thing about Magus, did they? No, yes they did. Yes they did, because there were those soldiers asking us if we were members of Magus's army.
Oh yeah, back in the cathedral.
So apparently in 600 AD, Magus took over.
Well, he tried to take over, but for somehow, one way or another, he got defeated.
Apparently not, because because people are here, and it's like, Ozzy the Eighth. What the crap?
My ancestors served the great Magus.
Okay, so apparently 400 years ago, Magus took over the world. Shit.
Which is weird, because if he took over the world, then why isn't everyone all oppressed over there at Lean Square? Or Lean Village?
Well, Magus is dead. He's not going to live for 400 years. It's just apparently all of his followers kept passing down the timeline going like, hey, this is the guy that took over this world. Bow to him, and we're going to keep remembering him and make sure the world remembers that Magus ruled over the world.
Yeah, I guess. Alright, if I remember correctly, if you try to go buy stuff, they, like, charge you extra because you're human, obviously.
They also don't sell you anything unless you fight them for it first.
No, I want... Please give me items.
So yeah, we can't actually buy items here, but we gotta fight these guys first. And despite the fact that this Omnicrone looks huge and scary as hell, he's pathetic. He's like a... And plus we got magic, so... This is the... Oh, right, I forgot. This guy doesn't... Oh, wait, these guys are weak. These guys
immune to
are
magic.
affected by magic. At least that guy...
Oh, shit.
Look, I don't kill the shopkeep.
We need to buy stuff from him.
Well, apparently he's not dead.
And he just turned around like, I don't want part of this no more.
And Luca gained a level.
Oh, that's my favorite dual tech.
Learning dual techs.
That's my favorite dual tech of this game, honestly.
Antipode?
Yep.
1, 2, or 3?
All of them.
Yeah. Antipode, really? That's like the most basic one.
I know, but who doesn't like combining fire and ice? And if you think that's OP, it is. It really is.
God damn it, I knew you were going to bring that up.
Ah, sweet mother of crap.
You don't know what we're referencing? Go watch My Hero Academia.
Or at the very least, this guy's review of My Hero Academia. But yeah, he sells everything like ludicrously expensive.
Yeah. So if you're doing New Game Plus, if it carries over all your money, then yes, you can buy all this stuff, but it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, because at that point you'll have everything anyway, and all the better stuff.
I mean, even if you're able to afford the stuff here, you're gonna get better stuff very soon anyway. Anyway, now that we're back in the present, we gotta figure out what the hell is going on here. Why are there monsters taking over our world and all that?
Rather, why are we in a village of monsters?
Yeah, So we'll figure that out in part 11.